Hello my peeps, it's Oliver here. The Natural High Club is about the pursuit of happiness in all its forms. And in this episode I speak to Marzouk Magouz. Marzouk is a professional sound man and TV production veteran with some incredible stories to tell. During our conversation we talk about playing football with Ruud Gullit and Frank Rijkaard, being taken hostage in the Middle East, immigration, weeping camels, Donald Trump growing up in Morocco, the €1,500 glass of wine, crashing the bus at film school, health, the Rockefeller Foundation, and so much more. I truly hope you enjoy the episode, and you can find all the show notes at naturalhigh.club/Marzouk. That's MARZOUK. Please also feel free to drop me a line with any questions or suggestions you might have for people who you think I should interview at admin@naturalhigh.club or tweet me at naturalhighclub. Enjoy the show. You look like you've had some sun. You look a little bit more tan than when I last saw you. Have you not been in the sun?
No.
You haven't been some hot, sunny...
working in the sun, but I mean just outside.
Just in Amsterdam?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did some sport things and it was outside, and a guy who's doing hockey and a guy who's doing tennis, and next Tuesday we're doing one who's swimming. It's a program about where is the medallion.
Where is the...
Medallion, you know, the medal?
Okay.
That they win.
Yeah.
The Olympic players. It's all the Olympic players.
Yeah.
And some of them have won. One of them have 8. What we did 2 this week. There was a girl. She was a tennis player, but on a wheelchair.
Oh wow! So Paralympics. And she has 8 medals. Amazing. A Dutch girl?
Yeah, Dutch. Mm-hmm. And one was silver and all the other gold.
It's amazing how good the Dutch are at sport, considering it's such a small country. I mean, until recently they were one of the best football teams in the world. Yeah. And you've surprised me again to tell me that they've obviously got quite a decent medal haul in terms of the Olympics as well. I mean, such a small country. It's just
they are very good in how is that? In sport, but they are evolved with it. A lot of them. So. Yeah, it's good.
But then with the Dutch national football team, I don't know if you follow football at all, but you don't. With the Dutch national football team,
I know them, I meet them, I talk to them, but I
never.
No, I was football on the street. That's what I like.
Right, yeah. And a lot of Dutch footballers apparently started by playing football on the streets as well, like Robin van Persie. He was well known as like a street footballer when he started, and it's like in Brazil, you know. In Brazil, they play with a small ball on the street, and that gives them great skills when they're young. Yeah. Rather than playing with a big football and a full-sized football pitch, they play with little things, and it just gives them the technique from an early age.
Yeah, that's what you learn it on the streets. That's how I learned it. When I was young, I was playing with Gullit, you know, Gullit.
Ruud Gullit, yeah, of course, yeah.
And Rijkaard.
No way!
And that was my age. I mean, they were 2 years older than I, but...
So you were playing in Holland, in the Netherlands?
Yeah, but street football.
Yeah. But with those guys?
With those guys, because they were young. And it was not this neighborhood. I was already here. We came here at the 80s. The end of 1979, starting with the 80s. And then I went always back to my old neighborhood, and there was Ruud and Rijkaard and...
Amazing. So whereabouts was that in Amsterdam?
Sorry?
Was that in Amsterdam, yeah?
Yeah, it was in Amsterdam.
Whereabouts? What neighborhood?
That's 2 neighborhoods from here. You have the Surinamer Plain.
Yes, I've heard of it.
Mercator Plain. Mm-hmm. And just there, Mercator Plain.
And were they amazing even at that age? Were they amazing?
Yeah, because they made it. I mean,
They didn't just make it though, they were the best.
They were good.
The best.
I mean, we were playing together and we were good. Only when we were young, my father never think about to put us on a club.
Right.
And these guys, we were here then just 7 years then in Holland.
Okay.
And those guys were already here. They were born here probably, and they are known with the football clubs and stuff, and my father did not. So my father never told us, guys, go to the football club and be a football player. No, you have to go to technical school or go to work. You have to work.
Right.
That was our thing.
I mean, but there's something to be said for it, because I always wanted to be a musician, and I spent 10 years in a band doing the whole, as much as I could, try to be in a band, and I think we were quite good, our band, but you have to be absolutely amazing to be a footballer. You have to be absolutely amazing to be a musician. You have to be absolutely amazing to be a film director, whatever, you know, because there's so many people that want to do it, and there's so few opportunities to do it that, you know, I mean, I'm not saying don't be ambitious as a person, but yeah, football, for every success story you hear about football, and you really do just hear success stories, don't you? But there must be a million failure stories to go with every success story. Yeah. So where were you born?
I was born in Morocco.
Born in Morocco. And how long did you spend there before you moved to...
6 years, actually. 6 years. And then when I became 6, we came here. Not directly to Holland, but we're from a small village.
Okay. It called?
Metiwa.
Metiwa. And is that in the south, the north of Morocco?
North. It is in the Rif Mountains.
Okay.
And we don't speak Rif. I don't speak Rif because...
Rif is a dialect, a local dialect.
Yeah. I speak just Moroccan Arabic.
Okay.
And the most Moroccan we have here, they are from the Rif.
Right.
The most of them.
Okay.
So, yeah. And
so how come? Why did people leave from that particular part to come to the Netherlands?
They started the 60s to bring them here. You know, the European. There was a new colony, what I told you.
Okay.
Colonize.
Yeah.
And the Dutch people, German people, Belgian people, they needed people for work.
Okay. There weren't enough people here in general.
At that time, no, because after the war, there was a lot of work and.
So was it skilled people coming over, skilled labour, or just people that could do anything?
Anything,
okay.
Especially at the 60s, they brought the people here to do actually the heavy and the dirty work, and the problems come out now because a lot of, like my father, they did very, very heavy jobs, dirty jobs. Industrial, and now just a week ago, there's a big problem started with those people who became sick, cancer, with
asbestos and things
asbestos and many other things.
So what sort of work would they be doing?
Well, things with
building stuff, construction.
Buildings, working in factories at that time, without good protection. They don't know what kind of work they did. I mean, they knew what they're doing, but they don't know the health problem, potential health metals where they work with.
And do you think that the manufacturer, do you think that the Dutch people knew?
They knew.
Right.
Because they don't want to do that work.
No, of course, yeah.
That's why they brought the people from Africa.
Cheap labour, basically.
Cheap labour, and the people, they were thinking like my father, I'm gonna go to Europe and probably work for 5 years and have enough money.
Come back.
I go back.
Yeah.
But then...
Doesn't happen.
No. Because it started with me. I was sick for a long time when I was young, for 3 years.
Here?
No, there,
in Morocco. Okay.
So we moved from the village to a city, and the doctors, they searched me, but they didn't find...
What were the symptoms? What was wrong with you?
Well, I couldn't almost not walk.
God.
I pee, only blood, you know.
No way.
Yeah. And there in Morocco, they operate me somewhere else. They couldn't find things.
What a terrible start to life.
It was really terrible. But I was young, so I remember that, but I don't have any.
Okay.
You know. And when done, my father decided, okay, I'm gonna take you to Holland. Probably if I'm not do it, you will die. And my father gave me out twice. Okay, you have to die. I mean, we can help you, so he let me almost die twice.
No way.
And then each time I
came back,
and then he said, okay, I bring you to Holland. And then we went to Holland, and then directly for me from Morocco, directly to the hospital, St. Lucas. And they operate me, and I found I had stones.
Gallstones?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, problems around your bladder, that sort of thing.
Yeah. So that's why it was difficult to walk. I was very young.
Doesn't that generally happen to older people, gallstones and...
No, it happens to everybody.
Okay.
It depends where you live and what... Yeah.
So it's diet related or...?
I don't know.
You don't know how they get caused generally?
No. It's colic, how you say it?
Colic?
Yeah, colic.
Okay.
Yeah, the water that we drink there in the village... I don't know, maybe. I don't know, because it's the water came all from, from the ground.
Okay. So at that time, I mean, I know Morocco's a pretty well-developed country now, isn't it, in general, would you say?
Yeah, yeah.
But back then,
No, back
sanitation
then, no,
and everything.
Nothing.
So, do you? I mean, obviously, you had this operation, this illness when you were young. But do you have happy memories of Morocco?
Sorry?
Or do you not? Do you have happy memories in general of Morocco, or do you not really remember it at all?
No, I have some happy memories. I was sick, but I still was a happy guy there. I was singing all the time. I couldn't go with my friends because they when you're young and you can walk, then you have to go after you. Then you became a sheep.
Herder. Sheep herder.
Yeah,
A shepherd, basically. Yeah.
Goat, sheeps.
Ah.
We had also some of them. So.
But did your family do that in general, or is that what your dad did before he moved to Holland, to the Netherlands?
Yeah, when he was young. I mean, when he married and he has to work on the land. It's very hard work for them.
I'm sure.
It's really hard.
I'm sure.
I mean, that's why my mother is the doctor. The last research what they did, he say, when did your mother stop smoking?
And you said she never smoked.
My mother smoke, never, because her lungs are so. They are smokers' lungs.
Right, they're
never
full
smoke.
of dirt and crap, basically.
Yeah, but that's because when we cook, we used wood for that.
Ah.
The smoke.
Yeah.
And then once he blow to get the fire.
Right.
Once he inhale.
And that's really bad
for
for you.
years and years and years and years, and that's why she had this lung diseases now.
Right.
It started when she started to work as a adult girl when she was 13, and working and cooking and that stuff, and all the smoke every day because we have this Moroccan big, where we cook. Yeah, we use wood for that. There's no gas, no nothing. And that's why my mother had the smoker's lung.
You wouldn't think that cooking with logs and with wood would necessarily damage that badly. But I suppose, as you say, the smoke inhalation over a long period of time.
Very long time.
Really bad for you. So, so do you feel now? You were 6 or 7 when you moved?
Yeah.
And do you feel as if you've got Moroccan roots? Do you feel Moroccan, or do you feel Dutch now?
No, actually, I don't feel Moroccan. I don't feel Dutch. I just
citizen of the world.
Citizen of the world. That's what I said. I'm one of this world because this world is for everybody. That's. I can feel myself very good when I go to Papua New Guinea. If I go live there, I'm one of them.
Yeah.
I'm easy. Yeah, I can. How you say that? I go to a place and find my way very, very easy.
Yeah, that's great.
That's what I have.
Possibly that comes from moving from your home country at such an early age, moving from everything you know to something completely different.
New. Yeah, for us it was new. I mean, that's when we came to Holland. It doesn't change that much from then till now. I mean, electronical things and stuff. But
and did it feel amazing when you got here? I mean, from what you can remember, did it feel completely different in terms of technology? And I mean,
technology, was amazing, much further than what we had.
Where would Morocco be at that time? Would it be third world or second world? Would it be developing or would it be completely undeveloped?
Developed, but in the big cities.
Okay.
Not in our places. No, that was really second world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you must have been fairly happy when you got here and saw all the big city bright lights, and your dad was in work and.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, but we were already living in a small city in Morocco.
I see.
We moved from town, so we have electricity then. We have water from and before we don't have that. We have to go 4, 5, 6 times a day to get water. And the animal came back, we have to bring them to drink and bring them back to the place where they stay at night. And but when we came here, for us it was a big change.
I suppose in terms of medicine, that's medicine and other technology which has really advanced and improved our world. But do you think there's something to be said for that sort of lifestyle, a more natural lifestyle that we've sort of gone past now? I read recently that over half of the world's population now live in cities for the first time. In 2014, I think it tipped the balance. It went over 50%. So more and more people are living in the city just because of convenience and work and things like that. But do you think there's something to be said for a more natural lifestyle like that? Or was it just complete improvement when you moved to Europe?
No, yeah, it was complete. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, really improved everything.
Improved, yeah.
And you moved and you went to school in Holland. Were you accepted straight away, or did you find it tough to
Yeah,
integrate?
no. At that time, we're really accepted right away. And
Was
we
it
were
already a
young.
multicultural place then in the Netherlands?
No,
It wasn't.
No. We had some people from the Suriname.
Mm-hmm.
We had some from the Maluku, from Indonesian, but very, very little. And most of them, they are living in the north of Holland or in the south of Holland, not in the middle like Amsterdam or the other cities. No, when I was young and I was at school, I was the only one. Immigrant at that time, I was the only one.
How were you treated?
Yeah, everybody wants to play with you. Everybody was happy to
Great.
see you. Everybody was glad. You know, those days were great for me as a young kid.
You were the
Everybody-
special one.
Yeah, at that time, yeah. It's not like now. You're not the special one.
Right,
They
yeah.
don't want you anymore. That's sad. Yeah,
It's really
Yeah.
sad. Why do you think that's happened? Do you think that's because...
Well, it's the politic things. You know, that's why it became so sad. And now the ISIS problem. You know, they put people against each other. I mean, religions against each other, and it's so sad.
Yeah.
And the people who don't know, then they are getting afraid of you
Sure.
because you are different.
Mm.
Even me, I live here for almost 50 years.
Wow. You don't even
50
look 50.
No, but I'm 50. I'm almost 50 years. I live in this country.
Oh, and you
then-
still feel some racial tension?
Yeah, and it's getting more and more now. Yeah.
I heard that there was an issue with social housing. I think it might even have been you that told me this, but apparently there are a lot of Syrian refugees now coming to the Netherlands.
Yeah.
And even though the Holland has got great social housing, I think it's something like 30% of houses in Amsterdam are social, or even more, maybe 35%.
Yeah.
But people that have Dutch natives who have been on the waiting list for years, are apparently being
It
passed
happens. Yeah.
over by Syrian. You know, it's a
It
difficult
happens.
one, isn't it? So-
It is difficult, but it happens also already in the 50s when the first Indonesian people came here. Then we had the same problem as now.
Right. Just that tension for people thinking they're being passed over by newcomers to the country.
And it's every time we have another now are the the Syrian people, before were the Suriname, then the Morocco, then the Turkish, then the Moroccan, and then we have the people from Poland, Romania, Bulgaria, and it's different people has his time, and now it's really sad. I didn't have any problems yet, but I can feel it. You feel it, that people there look at you and say, this guy he's in ISIS. You know, they think directly like that, and it's really bad.
Yeah. So
I'm not afraid, but my father, like he's older, he's really afraid.
really?
Yeah.
For his safety?
For his safety, yeah. Because it already happens when 9/11 happens,
Yep.
and then people here, and when my father goes to the mosque,
Mm-hmm.
just after the plane to the right, it's a small mosque.
Okay. Yeah, I saw one the other day, but that was further up the river, but I haven't done
Oh,
it.
it is the big one.
Yeah.
They just built it.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I like that one. Very, very nice.
And it looks like a
yeah.
place for study as well. It looks like there's a lot of...
Yeah, it's actually multicultural thing.
Okay.
You can do anything there. It's not only a praying mosque, but anything you can do. Now our mosque is here just 200 meters.
Oh,
from here
okay.
to the
Oh, I
right.
haven't seen it.
There you have on the corner the glasses shop.
Yes.
And if you turn right in the end.
Oh,
it's
yeah, I know
it's
what you
an
mean.
entrance.
Okay.
Well, even when my father he went to do his prayer in the morning, early morning, like sometimes at 5 o'clock, he goes, and there are people who are spitting on him and.
No way.
Yeah, because they were thinking he did the bombing in New York. I mean, how
It's
stupid.
absolutely crazy. So
Yeah.
is that still happening now? I mean, do you still...
Oh, it became more worse because in the politics, they told them you can't say anything. That's a problem, and they do now. And when you say something, you don't say. Well, you say that. Yeah, it's my right to say that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be worse.
I mean, if Amsterdam strikes me as a very, very multicultural place, and I think
It is.
I heard something about there being more languages spoken in
700 or more.
more than anywhere else in Europe, and
Yeah.
so if in such an ethnic melting pot, you'd have thought if we're having trouble here, then what chance does the rest of the world have? Places which are less, multicultural and are possibly less accepting of new people coming in.
Yeah. Yeah, in Holland, for years we have the most people from all over the world. They are here, and in the beginning, of course, they were all accepted, but.
And then I suppose, it just seems to go back and forth. You've got people like Donald Trump in America right now, who's just, sort of, it seems to be regressing civilization for me. I can't imagine that he's going to get into power in America.
He changed. Even he don't gonna be on politics or winning, but he changed it already.
Yeah, massively.
It's the same what happens here in Holland.
What he seems to be doing to me is generating anger. He's got this diatribe going on the whole time, which is like, build this wall and keep the Mexican people out.
Away,
building up anger towards, in times where there's economic uncertainty or just an easy scapegoat. I mean, don't get me started on America. I mean, the Guantanamo Bay, for example, it's the thing which makes me most sad. I believe in the modern world, America holds itself up as this, bastion of liberty and multicultural place, democratic place, power to the people. But then they've got Guantanamo Bay, which is, for me, it's hard to distinguish that from the SS and the Gestapo in the Second World War. What's the difference between being tortured in the Second World War by the Nazis and what's going on in Guantanamo at the moment? I mean,
even Guantanamo Bay it's more worse what the German did. I mean, it's really bad.
It's just absolutely crazy, and I mean, that's a different story. So, okay, so you came to Amsterdam when you were a young lad.
Yeah.
Tell me about how you are now a professional soundman. So what were your early influences here, and how did you get into that?
Well, after when I was young, I was just one of the streets. I was living almost on the streets. My father didn't have time for us because he was working 4 jobs. Then went at 6 o'clock in the morning, and he came around 12 at midnight back home.
No
so actually, my father was never there. So I had my own.
Do what you want.
Do what I want, and. Yeah, and when I came live here, when we live in the other area, I was younger, so I was more school, home. Here I have made new friends, and then I find out there's another life outside,
Was there discipline in your? If your dad's away the whole time, were you a disciplined person naturally, or did you get on the wrong side of the law ever, or was it?
Yeah, I did. Discipline came much later.
You seem like a very disciplined person.
Yeah, I'm now. Yeah, that's of course what I learned myself, to have discipline, because if you don't have discipline, you won't make it in this world.
Right.
Because of course I have wrong friends, some of them, not all of them, but some of them, and they're still doing bad things.
Right, even now.
They
took
jail,
the wrong.
in and out,
Wow.
and I think, that's nothing for me. I have to be strong, not to go the same way as he did.
So why did you choose the right path in the end? Why didn't you go down the wrong path? If you were hanging out with these guys every now and again and getting in trouble every now and again, what made you? Without that really strong, I mean, your dad is obviously a great guy for providing for you all of your life, but if he's not there, to give you all of the discipline, then how did you decide?
Well, I decided to, when I saw things go wrong, with those friends of mine, and of course I was with them. Of course I stole a bicycle when I was young, and of course I went to the supermarket and get some chocolate, because at that time I had money. Because if my father didn't give you money, you have to find out where you get money from. And I started to work on the market. When I was 8.
For who?
For the people who were working already on the market.
And you would just be selling stuff for them?
No, not yet. It started with the selling of the Queen's Day. We have the King's Day now.
I know about King's Day, and there's Queen's Day as well.
No, before it was Queen.
Of course, when she was in
King.
power, yeah.
And it's on the 27th. Now, friends of mine from England, they will come this year to visit me here at King.
Which is on the same date
27 now.
27.
Before it was on 30 April, now it's 27.
Okay.
His birthday is on 27. You didn't have already the Queen's Day?
I'm sure there's something similar. I'm not of a royalist.
But how long are you here?
Oh, for 4 months.
Oh,
I've been here for 4
so
months.
this is going to be your first.
This is going to be my first King's Day, yeah.
King's
And
Day.
everybody's been talking about it.
Yeah.
The guy upstairs, Jürgen, you know the guy who's
Jürgen,
next
yeah,
door?
yeah.
He's always going on
And
about
they
it.
have always a party here, but these friends who are living here, they left.
Right.
Maybe they come back for the party. But each time when I go out, they always are buying me, come drink with us. And then
Do you drink alcohol?
No, I've never tried.
Never in your life?
No, never
Wow.
tried, never.
I don't think you're missing that much, I have to say.
I don't, yeah, if you don't know how it tastes and what it is, you don't miss it.
Mm.
Even with smoke, of course, we have sitting here in this hall outside, my friends smoking joints and drinking, and I never had that oh, can I try?
Desire, you never had the desire to do
No,
it.
never,
Amazing. Even when
never.
you're young and you're maybe
Yeah.
doing the wrong thing from time to time, you never...
No, never. And still now, I was last in Iceland, and they gave us a glass of wine, cost 1,500 euros, one glass of wine.
What?
Yeah.
What?
It was a bottle, was I don't know how many years, but it was very, very nice wine.
It must have been.
Yeah.
At that price.
And then I was surprised, not the guys what I would work with, but the people who serve us. I say, you don't want that? I say, no, I don't want that. I don't drink. But, I say, I don't know, but I don't drink.
Yeah, right.
And everybody, okay, give it to me. Yeah.
Don't spill it.
No, don't spill it. It's 1,500 euros for a glass of wine. Even the water was 70 euros, a bottle of water.
No way. What was this place that you went to in Iceland? Were you doing a job
Yeah,
there?
Reykjavik. Yeah, we were in Reykjavik, and we did a program about the most luxury restaurants in the world.
Ah.
And one of them is there.
Mhm.
The people who has really the money, they fly from London or from Amsterdam, stop over in Reykjavik, they have the dinner and fly on to the place, to
Amazing.
wherever they go.
The top 1%.
Yeah, and there are a lot of them. There are a lot.
I'm sure.
A lot of rich people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll definitely want to come on to your exciting tales of your profession, your career. But so you're a little bit
Yeah.
wayward when you were a kid, and then you decided to live a more virtuous life, and you did
Yeah.
that for yourself, really.
I did it for myself because we were here, we were young, and then I saw something happening in the street because we were really bad guy. Not bad, but for the neighbor we were bad.
You were sort of known as the troublesome kids.
Troublemakers, and the people who were living here, they also said, oh, these guys are really bad, we have to do something against them. And I was thinking,
How old were you at this stage? In your teenage years?
Yeah, when I was teenage. It started probably with the motorcycles when we started to play with that when I was 14 years old.
And you don't need to wear helmets here, do you?
Yeah, on those days when you have, we had to wear helmets for those days, yeah. And then one day I came here and I saw all my friends were gone. I was on the Speedway in the Olympic Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
We were watching Speedway, the motocross.
Yep.
2 of us. And then when we finished, we came here because we live in this street. In our life, we was always in this street. And then there was nobody here, our friends. And then all of them, they were cut by the police.
Doing what? Mucking around on their bikes or...
Bikes, and actually terrorized the neighbors here.
Yeah.
It was just for fun. I mean, never had fight to somebody or never steal from somebody here.
It was never violent or anything like that, but it's just what kids do.
Kids, and of course you cannot stay at 5 o'clock in the morning in the street, and at that time I have this big Freddie James radio.
Ghetto blaster.
80s, yeah. And music till 5 o'clock in the morning, and I was a DJ myself, and I had my own playing record on my 5 o'clock in the morning. I mean, very loud music. And
What sort of music?
Yeah, for me it was R&B at that time, disco music.
Yep.
And yeah.
And then, so how did you get into? You decided that you came back. They weren't there. You thought, okay, this is
There's something bad.
Yeah.
I say if
and they'd gone to jail or whatever.
Not jail, but
they've been
the police
arrested.
Arrested. The police had come more from the neighbors. They said we have to stop this. And then the police, after that, I found out they have watched us for 3 months.
Right.
What we're doing.
Yeah.
For 3 months.
God.
And then, of course, I saw something when I came in this boutique, and a guy that I don't know, and he came out of the boutique, and who's this guy? And then something was ringing in my head. I said, "This is not
Right.
good. That's not good." And probably that was maybe the last time when I bumped to one of them. It was a policeman, of course. How you say that? A regisseur?
Undercover.
Undercover.
Plain clothes. Plain clothes. So you're not dressed in the uniform.
No.
Okay.
Undercover.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think, okay, this is something going on. And then one day I arrested all my friends, and the next day my brother was here. I said, did you see this and this and the guy? Oh, they were caught by the police. And then I think, okay, I was already thinking that it's gonna happen. And then I went the same day to the police office. I said my friends were caught, and probably you were also looking for me, because I went with them.
Wow, real honesty there.
Yeah, and
but you're probably scared, just thinking, right, I've got to get this sorted out.
Yeah, because we it was more for the neighbors. They didn't like us anymore. It was not of stealing or whatever. Of course, the little bicycles that you stole sometimes.
That's like a national sport in
Holland. Yeah, if you don't steal a bike, you don't live in Holland. So. And this police guy say, well, if that is so, they will come and get you in the next morning. And that what happens. I was sleeping, and then suddenly 9 o'clock, knock, police.
They did come.
Yeah, they did. They come and they get me there for 3 days.
No way.
Yeah, because Rob and Eric and Marcel and Frank and the other guys who were already there, they told them all the stories, what they did.
Included you in the stories?
Of course, I was with them. I was one of them.
Yeah.
And then when I was there, I said, I don't know nothing. My name is nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Eric told us, this and this.
That would be a classic. Sort of thing for the police to do, though, wouldn't it? That would be one of their tactics in order to get you to talk.
To talk, and I didn't want to talk because I didn't know if it's true or not. Because they were your friends.
Yeah.
Even they were not that nice for the neighborhood, but they were your friends.
Of course, yeah.
And I didn't know. I didn't know. I really didn't know. I was there, and you really sure? But Eric told us, when you went to Zandvoort and you came back with this motorcycle, wasn't me. I was with them, but it was, of course, Eric.
What were they alleging that you'd done? Stolen a bike?
Yeah, it was the eldest guy in our friend. He always go and stealing Dutch motorcycles. Mm-hmm. But we didn't do it. We were going with them, but just for going to Zandvoort and having,
the thrill.
A thrill, and he was doing because it was his thing to earn some money with. It's not ours, but we were with them. I mean, you were also.
They would call you an accessory, I suppose, an accessory to the crime.
And they want to know, of course, of Eric, because Eric was much older than us. Mm-hmm. And that guy is still doing those things.
Is he? Even now?
Even now.
And he must have been in and out of prison then.
Oh yeah, even now he's in and out in the prison.
Wow.
Do
you still know him? Do you still friends with him?
No. I have met him once in those years in the supermarket. Mm-hmm. And I was looking, I said, Eric? Yeah, of course he was changed. And I said, Eric, I don't know, but he looked like Eric. And then I said, Eric! And then, hi, Marzouk! And then he knows me. And then that was also many years ago. And then after that, no. That's what you hear of him when you met somebody and they ask you, something. No, I don't, nothing.
Where do they keep you for those 3 days? You were in a cell for the whole time?
A cell was a cell.
Oh, God.
With the police, they have 1 or 2 cells. And now I know because after that with my work, of course, you see everything. So it was a cell. And then I was thinking, well, I don't think it's something, that blown in and to
It's
do it
almost
the
a
next
perfect little reminder, a tiny punishment just to sort of give you a kick up the arse as such
Yeah.
to say this is not the life that I want to lead.
No. And then suddenly I choose when I came here, you know, you had a girlfriend and you split, you get your friends going that way and I go that way.
The first love always does that.
Yeah, and then I didn't finish my school that time, so I had to find something else to get, you know, another education, and I did, and I found out I have to do some painting, I did, and then electrotechnic I did. After that, get my jobs, and then...
So how old were you when you left school?
17, 18, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, because at the 16, when I was 16 years old, you had to finish your high school, so 16 years.
Mm.
And I couldn't finish it because, of course, my father didn't pay for that. So last year he was going to buy books for me, so I couldn't finish it.
Right. And did you want to? Did you really want to study at that point?
Of course.
Yeah.
I want to have to finish. I want to have the diploma, but I couldn't finish it because your daddy is always thinking, yeah, we need the money for. So
And was money genuinely tight? Do you think?
At that time, yeah,
Yeah.
of course, even that time, because we were with a big family. So, and living here we were then at, my sister was already married, my brother, I think. There was six children. Yeah,
Yeah, that is a big family. Many
that's
mouths
big.
to feed.
And even also a family who in Morocco, they give him some money as well. So it was hard life for my father. And then my brother was already, he finished his high education, and then he came one day and I said, do you want to do this? And then I said to him, yeah, I will, but I just finished my other, you know, painting school. I said, but this is something else. And then I went to the film school. The film school at the Overtoom.
Okay.
It's
yeah,
not
really
there
close
anymore.
to here.
It's not there anymore. It's now to the Waterlooplein.
Mm-hmm. So did you need qualifications to get in, or at that time, or could you?
Yeah, it was very, very strict, and it was very hard to get in as well. But I think they are what I brought to them, and I showed them some pictures that I made.
Okay. So you were already interested at this time then?
No, not in the things that I do now.
So how did you how did you make that transition then? You showed them some pictures.
I showed them some pictures that I made when I was, my first holiday was with my brother in 1989, where we went to Thailand. From Thailand we did a nice trip all the way to Malaysia and Singapore. And we ended in Singapore, and I knew at that time you could buy electronics very, very cheap there. More than half of the price.
Right.
And I bought my first reflex camera there.
Mm-hmm. Was that a stills camera, or was that a moving...
No, still.
Okay.
Still. You have cameras at that time, but I bought a still one, and And when I came back from Singapore, I practiced a lot with this, and I went to the zoo here in Amsterdam, and I made some just pictures of the white snow bear.
Okay, yeah, polar bear.
And then suddenly, without knowing that, I made a short, a story.
Right.
I didn't know, but it was, for them, hey, this guy is...
That's amazing.
And without knowing, I was just making pictures and.
That's so great. I mean, today education is so regimented, and you have to have this, and this in order to get this. But it sounds that with that example, they picked you based on your talent, basically, on your raw talent.
Creative.
Yeah, creative talent.
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah,
I think a lesson could be learned from modern life. I think that sort of thing, because you obviously thrived and did really, really well.
Yeah.
So, was there an exam as such, or you just went in and...
No, it took more than a year to get in.
Right. And what was the process?
They want to know you're intelligent enough. They let you do some tests, if you can make it or not. And if you really have any clue and any things to do with filmmaking, because that's the film school for. And yes, suddenly after a year they say, okay.
So film school then, what was the course that you did? Was it a degree as such, or?
A degree.
What was the qualification? Yeah, it was a degree.
Yeah.
And was it a tough degree to do?
It was very tough.
How much theoretical stuff and how much practical stuff?
It's about 80% theory.
Right. Okay.
And maybe 20, yeah. Practical.
I did a degree in film myself, and I didn't touch a camera in 4 years.
Yeah, it was for me the same. After 3 years, the last year, they will show you how the technical stuff. But before I was only in the books and
The history of film and
noir
different styles and
and watching films. We have never seen so much films in 4 years in my life to analyze where the lights came from, how did they do that, and what should you do better, you know? It was really, really hard. Even we started with 20 people and 16 stayed after 1 year.
Right.
And for me also almost finished also after 1 year because I made a bad mistake. We have at that time every year we had a small project to do, so everybody is doing his part, and that was my film that I have to do, and I have to arrange my cameraman, soundman, lighters.
You were the director as such.
I was the director at that time, but I was also the sound man for the other one. You know, everybody has to make his own movie.
I see.
And then I have, of course, I have a friend of mine. He has a driver's license, and I asked him to do that for me, and he said okay, but he didn't came that day.
Oh no.
And I had all these players waiting for me. I had to pick up all these, stuff. And then I was, it's not coming, it's too late already, and I had people waiting and stuff. And then I said, I get the bus of the school, and I went driving without license.
No way! You're a maverick.
Yeah, and then I got an accident, of course.
No way!
Man. That was the problem. I was living here, so I took the bus from school and I drive. Just 2 blocks from here, it was snowy. It's
really bad to drive.
Really bad to drive, and then when I couldn't drive. But I didn't have my license, but I drive. And then with the snow, when I gave gas, my boots slipped, and it was just to turn in a corner, and when my boots they slipped, and I gave more gas than I brake.
Right.
But when I turned, it was too big, and I smashed the car.
Oh no!
And the school didn't like it.
Sure.
Because there was the bus of the school, and it's not, you have to
have a license and all this sort of stuff. Yeah.
And stuff, insurance and stuff.
So you were close to getting kicked out.
Well, the teachers, they say, and the school, they say, no, this mistake, it's a big mistake. It's not. You have to. The word responsible. No?
Responsibility. You have to be punished. Or...
Yeah. And then you have to leave.
God. So what happened?
Yeah. After that, what happens? Every the guys would have. They didn't want that I leave.
Ah, which guys?
Who were in my class?
Right.
Not the teachers also. There were a few teachers who said, okay, just let him go. But the others said, no, it's not good to let Marzouk go. He's one of us now. He had to stay. And they write a letter.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And that letter, they said, we have to keep Marzouk with us because we cannot miss him. Without him, we cannot finish this, we cannot finish that.
Right, yeah. Because you were doing all the different projects.
Yeah. And then after that, they say, okay, we gave you a chance.
Your sound work has obviously taken you into all corners of the world.
Yeah.
There was one specific. I want to hear all about interesting jobs that you've done. But there was one thing we talked about recently, which was that you were held hostage.
Yeah.
Or that you were in some really, really scary, dangerous situation. Can you tell me a bit about that?
Yeah. That was last year when we were doing a documentary about the Arabic storm. Arabic storm is the problems what's going on in the Arabic world now.
Okay, political problems.
Political problems of the ISIS things.
Okay.
Al Qaeda, and yeah, we were making this documentary.
Was it for a Dutch production company?
Yeah, for the NTR. No, sorry, for FARA BNN, and we wanted to make this documentary to know the West here, what is really going on in those countries and how it actually really started. It's not that the people have to say that every Muslim guy is a terrorist. And it began where it's really began. It's not the Muslim they started. No, it begins with when Mr. Bush, it started in the 80s.
Yep. And I mean, you could go back thousands of years, really.
You can back even much more, way back.
But he definitely didn't help things a lot.
Yeah, with his father, they lost the war in Iraq, and in Afghanistan, there was Russian, Iraq with the Americans, and then when they bombed 9/11, the Twin Towers, they started with this war against the Muslims.
Yep.
And the people here, they know only the Muslims are bad, the Muslims don't do with Muslim bad things. And we want to do with this documentary to tell the people exactly how it started.
A better understanding of what goes on.
Yeah, so when you watch the program, then you think, oh, yeah, actually I never stood still with that.
Right, yeah.
And it was really nice to do.
So you had to go, obviously, to the Middle East and...
Yeah, we went to all those countries.
And what was the documentary called?
Arabic Storm.
Arabic Storm. Okay, I'll definitely be looking out for that one. Anyway.
I have a book, but it's in Dutch, so when we finished the documentary, we gave out a book.
Ah, you made a book about it as well.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So set the scene. Where did you go in order to...
We started in Tunis.
Mm-hmm.
Because in Tunis, it started there.
Okay.
Because this guy...
What started there exactly?
The Arabic Spring.
Okay.
And now we call it Storm, but at the beginning, everybody called it the Arabic Spring. And there it started with a guy, a market guy was, selling his stuff, but the government is bad, there corruption and stuff, and these people, they are poor, they don't have nothing, and what they have, they taken away from them. And this guy, he said, I had enough of it. And then he put benzene over himself and petrol, and he let his
martyr. He became a martyr.
Yeah, and that's how it started.
Right.
That was the beginning of the Arabic Spring.
And when was this?
That was in Tunis in 2014, January 2010.
Okay.
We are 16, 5 years ago.
Okay, so 11.
11.
Okay.
And then it spread all the way to all the Arabic countries.
Right.
They came out, and that day I was traveling somewhere in Vietnam, and I was watching TV, and it started also in Egypt. And after Egypt, they started in Yemen. No, Yemen was later. All the surrounded Oman, Bahrain. After that, also Morocco. But I was happy that it went that far, because Morocco is one of the still now safest place.
Okay.
No problems still. Yeah, and then we went to Iraq, we went to Syria.
This must be an incredible project. I mean, how long did it take you to do all of this?
3 months.
Right, and you were away the whole time?
No, we came back for a few weeks and then do some editing and do some other research, and then we went back to another country to do interviews with those guys. And in Libya, we were there. From when we finished in Tunis, we fly to Libya. Took us 3 days to get a plane from Tunis, because from other countries you cannot fly to Libya.
Right.
No.
There's just not a lot of flights going there?
No flights from Europe, no. So when we say, okay, we finish in Tunis, then we try to get a plane, because on land you cannot. It's too dangerous, because there is ISIS, there is Al-Qaeda, and other groups who's fighting to get the power.
Yeah.
So, and if you're there as a journalist or white guy, then they will hijack you.
You're sort of high value goods, basically, a high value commodity, because you can be taken captive.
And that's what actually also happened with us. We have been captured for 1 hour.
God. So this happened in
Libya.
In Libya, right? Okay. And so how did it happen?
Tripoli.
Explain how it happened. Were you guys on the road and?
No, because we didn't take the road, because the road is very dangerous because of also the landmines, and you don't know who's you will meet on the way.
Yeah,
so then it's more dangerous for you. So we we have the only one flight from Tunis to Tripoli, and then it was a really one-day trip, not longer. Because if you stay longer in those countries, they will know you are there. They will come
Right.
and get you.
Right.
Anywhere you are, they will come and get you because you are target for them. You are money for them.
So it's money. That's essentially
Yeah,
what they want.
that's
Most
money.
of the time, it's not. They're not going to actually carry out that threat to kill you. They just
No.
want to try and get some money.
Get some money, and but to get money, it can take years.
Months or years, yeah.
Years, and then you're jailed for years.
God.
And then I don't know if you make it or not. I mean, they can also kill you.
Yeah, of course.
You're nothing for them because their life is not important for them anymore. So that's.
So how did you get captured?
Yeah, we were doing an interview with a high general, one of the generals who was, a high person there.
In the Libyan army.
In the Libyan army, he gave us permission to have this interview with them. So we did, and when we finished, he said, "Okay, guys, you have your interview. I have to go because that's my job." And then we have to pack our stuff, and he left just.
Where was this? Where were you at the time?
Tripoli.
Okay, but in an army barracks or?
No, just a simple hotel.
Okay.
Because there's
you
nothing
set up
left.
the- okay.
Everything is broken. Everything
So
is
sad.
damaged. Nothing left. Nothing is. How you say that?
Destroyed. It's all destroyed.
Everything is destroyed. Nothing is left. Some are hotels, but really. Yeah, improvise. What's that?
Yeah, just sort of temporary.
Temporarily things, and it was not safe. For us, it's not safe to stay there.
Okay.
Not
So you were packing all your stuff up
Yeah, and then suddenly the door smashed open.
because they knew where you guys were, basically.
Yeah, and then 4 guys with a Kalashnikov, they enter the room and
Masked,
no mask. They have these dresses, but
but the guns
they wear
spoke
the guns.
volumes. You just do whatever they say because they've got
Yeah,
automatic.
of course they
weapons.
have the Kalashnikovs, and it's a really big, heavy weapons.
So tell me how you felt when they burst in.
Yeah, of course it's, what's happened? What's going on?
Is it the heart in the literally heart in the mouth?
Yeah, my heart was here. I could just keep him, And then we were afraid. We were afraid. This guy was yelling, "Where you from? What are you doing here? Who was this guy you're doing an interview with?" And all those things. It was screaming and a lot of talking, to each other, not to us. And then we had a fixer, and the fixer said, "I really don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know who those guys are." And he was also very scared himself. He was more scared than we
So
did.
he obviously had nothing to do with it then.
No, nothing, because he was also banned from that country because he lives in Europe, this guy. But he knows a lot of people everywhere in the Arabic world because he was a journalist, but he's not allowed to go there anymore. So he was more afraid than us. And it took maybe an hour.
God.
Stay there, nobody knew, and our heart was bouncing here like. Yeah, and I saw that this guy the host, was really, really scared. Of course, they have children. They have. I have my girlfriend, but they have the children, and and a lot of things, and they were really scared. Because when we choose to make this program, we say, "Listen, we don't go to these countries because we all have, kids. We are
It's too
married.
dangerous.
Too dangerous for stuff."
And you can still probably tell the story without necessarily going to all of the places.
Yeah, of course. There's a lot of footage. You don't have to go there, but we want to score with this program.
Yeah, of course. You want it
Of
to be,
course.
to
and
be great.
not me, but the director. He made a few beautiful documentaries, winning things, and of course he wants to score with this one. And we did actually. We did.
It did really well.
Yeah, especially in those countries, and a lot of people who saw it here in Europe, I was really surprised what we did, because we really spoke to ISIS. We have been to Hezbollah. We have spoken in Lebanon to Hezbollah guys who are martyrs. These kids going to Syria to fight ISIS. And we came there one Friday, and then we were there on a barrier. guy who was buried. He was
Oh,
a
right, yeah.
martyr. He was just 19 years old. He was killed 2 days ago in Syria.
Oh,
And
dear.
then with his father, his mother's crying, but it's okay because he's a martyr.
Oh my
You know those
God.
things, and I say, oh yeah, my God.
So do you ever know who the guys were that were potentially going to take
No,
you?
because it was not ISIS,
Okay.
and it was not Al Qaeda, because those are very, very bad. They don't care.
More serious, they'll just get it done. And...
They get it done, and they bring you somewhere, and then.
But it sounds like there's a bit of confusion with the guys that were potentially going to take you hostage. They didn't necessarily know what they were going to do themselves.
No, I think this because in Libya you have so many different groups. You know, I don't, landlords, lords of
Yeah, warlords.
warlord. Yeah, no, yeah, they had a lot of there.
Okay.
Every region.
Okay,
has
so like
this-
tribal chiefs as such.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this was one of those groups. And then suddenly after that hour, everybody was scared. What happened? And I don't know. And suddenly we were thinking, oh my God, they were taking us. And then suddenly the telephone rings of one of these guys.
Yeah.
And it was the general who had heard something. And then, that we have been cut and scared. And then he said to the guy who picked up the phone, he said, okay, let that fat guy go. Because he was one of us.
Right.
And this host is a
Big guy.
big guy. And then after that, they smile at us and say, sorry guys, we don't want to scare you, but it's with blah blah. And then they go, and then they jumped in the pickup truck, because this very famous Toyota pickup truck they have everywhere there.
Yeah.
They jumped and they
Gone.
drove away.
But you probably didn't feel safe again for a long time after that.
No, but when they left, and they smiled at us, at the beginning was no smiling, but then when they're smiling and they left, then of course you...
Sort of starts to feel
Yeah.
relief. But and probably joy as well, because
Yeah.
you're alive and you're healthy and you're appreciating your life
Everything.
like never before.
We almost could kiss the ground, but we did not. And then the first what we did is take our stuff and directly to the airport to get a plane.
Get out of
Also,
there.
no planes.
Oh, no.
No planes. And there was, I don't know, it's not a known company, but very, very old. We have to buy our own water and some crackers, because there's nothing in the plane. And then we had this with a lot of luck to Turkey. We fly to Turkey. And then we came in Turkey, and from there, Turkey, Amsterdam. Oh yeah, home.
Right. Turkey's seen as the sort of the middle ground, isn't it, between Europe, between the east and the west.
Yeah.
So there's a sort of a safe haven as such. Although obviously there's been problems there recently as well.
Yeah,
but-
they have big problems now, Turkey. Yeah, it's really big problems.
Wow. It's mad, isn't it? Because, such a bad situation can also derive such feelings of happiness. It's a really negative thing that's happened, but probably made you appreciate life more than ever afterwards.
Yeah, I appreciate life every day. Every day when I open my eyes, I think, okay, I'm still here, and I'm happy to be here. I have a nice job, I have nice friends, I have everything in life that when I was young, I couldn't think that I could make this. I was,
You couldn't picture your life being like this.
No, because when I was young, I see, nice things in life. You think, oh, I wanted that, but where do I get money from?
Yeah.
But with hard working, you can achieve everything. And that's of course, I'm 50 years old, so I'm happy.
So what would you say is the most important thing in life to make you happy? What's the best route to happiness? What's the most important thing to do on a daily basis in order to make yourself happy?
Enjoy life. That's my thing. Enjoy life, and everything. Even this cake I can enjoy, and I can be very happy of it. And yeah.
So that's maybe it's more about just about appreciation then, actually appreciating what you've got.
Yeah.
Health is one thing which I believe so many people just overlook in general. Like people, when I was in London, and one of the reasons we left London is because just felt like lots of my friends weren't really appreciating, their life, and a lot of people in London, there seems to be this sort of malaise in London where a lot of people aren't happy, and they're trying to be better off materially. They want to be richer. They want to have more stuff around them. But health is the greatest blessing for starters, isn't it? I mean, you only have to ask somebody who doesn't have health, who doesn't, and they don't take their health for granted at all. Anybody that suffers on a daily basis.
Yeah.
But I try every day just to remind myself, you are pain free today. You've woken up and you've got another day where you're completely pain-free. The world is your oyster. You can have everything and you're not suffering. And that's just an amazing thing. I think that life has become too complicated in many ways, and the idea of happiness has become too complicated when it's so simple in so many ways. I know that you like to exercise every day and get outside, and that's, for me, that's right at the top of the list of things that make me happy.
Yeah.
Just being able to get out and appreciate the countryside, and so many people don't do that, and especially as we all get closer to the city,
they forget you can be happy with this just tiny thing in life, the flower that you see, you can be happy with that and thankful for that, and that you are here, healthy. And of course I have my mother who's very ill, and
that reminds you, I'm sure, with your mother's illness.
It's a small thing, and be happy with that. But be thankful.
Yeah, definitely. Appreciation. I mean, it just seems to me that so many people are not happy with what they've got, even though they've got huge amounts. I mean, especially in the Western world, we've got so much more than we actually need, yet so many people spend so much time and effort trying to get more material things, really, rather than, which don't necessarily bring you happiness, and nor does money. Money doesn't necessarily mean happiness, does it?
No.
And it could create other problems in itself.
Oh yes.
People say success is earning loads of money. I say no. Success is happiness. Success is happiness. You may be happy from having that money. I'm not saying it's going to necessarily make you unhappy, but success in life is surely happiness. It's why make it more complicated than that?
I had a job, a very nice job, and I earned a lot of money, but I quit that job because it didn't make me happy. It was not the money anymore. I mean, in this world we live in a system, you have, if you don't do this, you don't belong with this, and if you don't do that, you don't. And I don't want that anymore. I earn money to live, but just the way I want. And if it's a little, I'm happy. And if they call me for my work and I say, Marzouk, do you want to do this? Can you lower your price? And I say, probably, I'm sorry, I'm already booked. Yeah. Then I don't take the job.
Because you want a certain quality.
But also I want my freedom.
Yeah.
Then otherwise I'm gonna do it for less money, but I'm not happy. So then I stay free.
Yeah.
Then I go to the park instead of getting less money and doing a not happy job.
You and I have many similarities.
Yeah, that's.
What advice would you give to somebody who wants to get into TV production, film production, sound production? What is there a particular piece of advice you give an aspiring young guy who's like, I'm desperate to get into that industry?
Yeah, it's a nice industry, a hard industry, and if you want to get into the industry, just go and fight for it.
Okay.
And you will reach it. And those days it's really easy to reach it. Yeah.
You think so? It's easy?
It's easy. It's much easier than in my time.
Right. It might be easy. I suppose maybe you would consider it easy, but you seem to me as if you're somebody who really perseveres and works really hard when you're through your life, in order to get where you wanted to be.
Yeah.
You're somebody who's prepared to work at it, to do jobs that maybe other people won't want to do at times, but also just to keep going.
Yeah.
Persevere. I'm going to ask you some questions which hopefully will inspire some happiness within other people. Who inspires you most?
My mother, yeah.
Yeah, great answer.
That's the most inspiring woman, because what she had made in her life, I mean, she has never things that I achieve now, but she had other times and another things that she had achieved. She had these beautiful kids, and that's most I inspired, yeah.
Has she been a happy person through her life, would you say, despite all the adversity?
She's not happy with her young life, but now she is, because she have her kids. Yeah.
Do you have children?
No.
Okay. Do you want to have children at some stage?
Yes, and I tried, but that didn't work out.
Okay.
I had three miscarriages
Oh, right.
with my ex.
If you could meet anybody in the world, is there somebody that you have a burning desire to meet?
I have met him twice. It's the Dalai Lama.
Oh man, this is my ultimate goal in life, is to interview the Dalai Lama. That's what I want to do.
I have met him twice.
Well, how did you meet him?
with this program that we did about Buddhism.
Okay.
But I have met him.
Amazing.
With George, a director, who became Buddhist.
Okay.
After he asked me, Marzouk, I want to go on holiday. Could you tell me where to go? I said, go to Thailand. And then he went there and he came back with a Thai woman and he was Buddhist. Not directly, but a few years later he became Buddhist.
So, do you know what the process was in order to get in touch with the Dalai Lama? And was he forthcoming about doing the interview? Or?
No, he's going to New York every year and
The Dalai Lama?
Yeah, and he's doing this big, for thousands of people, his speech.
Okay.
And yeah, that's what we went and do this interview with him there.
Amazing.
Because you cannot. If he's in Holland, okay, you can arrange an interview with him, but don't say I go to a place where he is now. And no.
Yeah, I mean, he has got to be the ultimate busy man because everybody wants a piece of the Dalai Lama, don't they? He's got this incredibly mystical quality about him, hasn't he? Yeah. And he seems like an amazingly intelligent guy. Did you get a one-on-one with him?
The interview, yeah.
And does he come? Is he spontaneously incredibly smart and clever? Does he?
He is very smart. He is a very good thinker. He knows everything. He knows, and even when he gives you a hand, he already read your hands or whatever.
Really?
Yeah.
And what does he?
He's holding your hands very long, and then he's look deep in your eyes. And then he smiles, and then he knows directly exactly who you are. That's the feeling that he gives me when I gave him my hand the first time.
What did you talk about? What did you talk about in the interview?
Yeah, Buddhism. Mm-hmm. Buddhism.
And did he have any amazing pearl of wisdom that day in general? Or what was his?
It's all wisdom what he's telling.
And
it is, of course, it's going about his speeches what he gives every year in New York.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he does seem like a genuinely happy person as well. I mean, he's not just the fact that he's always smiling, but he's just this demeanour of somebody with a really, really positive and genuinely happy aura.
Yeah.
How much time does he spend meditating?
He meditates every day.
Okay.
And they start very, very early. I mean, the meditation they do it the most of the day.
Okay. So that's what he spends most of his time doing.
Yeah, meditating.
Have you tried?
I did because I was also for the Buddhism a TV station. We went to a cloister in Belgium. They have
a what? Sorry.
A cloister. How you say that? Where Buddhism.
Like a sort of school of Buddhism, or?
No, it's not a school.
A monastery.
Monastery.
Yeah.
And then we were there for 10 days, and people who go there for 10 days. 10 days meditation.
You do the whole course?
Without speaking for 10 days. We were there filming, of course. But yeah, we tried. I mean, we were there. Nobody was speaking to us. It was 10 days meditation. And yeah, we tried.
And you guys all stayed in the monastery?
Yeah, we stayed there.
So did you actually practice silence during that time? Or did you have to
I did.
Basic conversation?
I did, because there was also days that we had nothing to do. So what can you do in a quiet, beautiful place? Then try to get something from that.
What effect did it have a positive effect on you, not talking?
Yeah, we get. Then you can get in your, how you say that, in your thinking, put things, on a certain level, yeah.
And I suppose, the world is so noisy, isn't it? So to actually do that and
tell me, noise, a lot of noise in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. I've started doing at least 10 minutes of meditation a day, and my mind is so cluttered and so noisy. But I didn't realise that until I started doing it. Until you actually take the time out to see what's going on in your head, then you don't really separate it from yourself as an ego. You just see it all as this one big package. But I think with meditation, what's great is it sort of almost helps you to separate yourself from your thoughts. And and it's fantastic. I mean, something that's really
well, that's what they say to us. You have to control your breathness and think about beautiful things in your life to be happy, and or go back to when you're young, because still they think you're happier when you're young. Then of course, when you're young, you're happier. You have no problems.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's things what they tell you to do.
Okay.
And control your breathness. Yeah.
Are there any particular techniques that you can remember in terms of the breathing that I should maybe try to practice?
Yeah, it's if when you start to do meditation, so what I have told is to control your breathing, and what I just told you to think about the things where you can be happy from.
Okay. I one of my favourite authors is a guy called Alain de Botton, and he's a philosopher, I suppose, a modern day philosopher. He's very much into the sort of pursuit of happiness. He wrote this book called How Proust Can Change Your Life, which is a great book. It's all about this guy Marcel Proust, a philosopher from a French philosopher. And one of Proust's philosophies was that as a child you have all this youthful joy and exuberance, and you can run around as a child naked and screaming. If you did that as an adult, you'd be locked up and put in a prison.
Yeah.
So what is it, in society tells you not to be like a child, but you're most happy when you're a child. So it's a bit of a sort of paradox almost, isn't it? If you act like you were as a child, then you'll be seen as mad, completely mad.
Mad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I think we human beings make of. Because it's nice to be as a young guy, because that was a nice thing in your life, and now you're growing up and it's not allowed to walk naked. I mean, we're born naked.
Yeah.
So, and it's nice to be naked. I mean, if I'm free and I'm in my home, of course I walk naked.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
But
it's more that the people make it. It's not good for you to be naked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why? I mean, what's wrong with that? Nothing.
No, absolutely.
Even I had with my girlfriend, the last one, I like to walk naked in house. I mean, in the house, it's private. But she didn't like it.
Really? Why?
Go put your underwear on.
Strange.
I don't know, because that's how she was when she was young. And
convention. It's what society or certain people tell you that you're supposed to be.
Her it's not good. It's not good to walk like that, and that's have more something to do with our tradition than
Which is sort of like it sort of maybe gets in the way of happiness. Those sort of social conventions.
To be free.
Yeah.
To be free.
I've heard there's a place in Amsterdam Zuidbos, which is near where we live, where there's a sort of nudist area.
Yeah. You have in Amsterdam, we have the Amsterdam Zuidbos, of course, the swimming pool, Slootplas. We have an area. I can remember when I was young, we went swimming there, and we swam to the island. Naked people. Of course, we didn't like that at that time, but then we went away. But there's also a part when you can swim naked. If you go to the beach, you have also a part of where you. When I was doing running, and then you see the people are naked.
They seem quite liberal, the Dutch.
Yeah, they are.
In general.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've done a documentary about Buddhism, which sounds absolutely amazing. I'm fascinated about that. What was that one called?
That's just Buddhist Omroep.
For the Buddhist channel.
For the channel, yeah. And each time it's different.
And the one about the Middle East, which is called Arabic Storm. Yes, that sounds.
Or the Arabic Spring. That was the first one 5 years before.
Arabic Spring. And have you done any other extraordinary documentaries, or any other film or TV productions which you really remember fondly or were very strange?
Yeah, there was the beginning of a dating program. Now you have hundreds, but the first one, that was really strange for me. They asked me to go to Mexico for 6 weeks.
Oh, cool.
Doing a dating program. We say, we bring you to Mexico. We bring 6 girls to Mexico. Beautiful girls. And where we show them on TV, and the guys from Holland who watch the program can write them a letter to invite them to go to Mexico, and maybe they can be a couple.
Ah.
But of course that didn't work out.
Yeah, well, it's much harder than that, isn't it? It's not that. It's not that simple.
It's not that simple. Of course, we brought some guys from Holland to meet the girls, but the girls, they didn't like them.
So none of the relationships worked out.
Then no, actually, then we say, okay, we have to do different. Must fake it.
Oh, okay. Yep. Yeah.
But it's not real.
Right. So you made out as if they did get together.
They did together, but
Right.
it was not real. And it didn't work for them after the program was after 6 weeks.
Right. It didn't happen.
But I have the most beautiful 6 weeks there because the girls started to like us.
Ah,
We were
the real
there.
guys.
The real guys. They were hardworking, good tent, and that was really nice.
Whereabouts in Mexico is it? Some beautiful resort?
Guadalajara.
Okay.
Guadalajara, and we were there in the villa of Pan Am, the boss of Pan Am.
Wow.
That was a beautiful place.
I'm sure.
It was an amazing place. For us, it was not allowed to stay there for long because, of course, they find out we have more contact with the girls than the guys who brought from Holland. So to us, they say, okay, guys, after this day, it's not allowed for you to come to the villa after you finished your work.
No way.
But then I found something else how I could reach it. When I do my running, I was doing my running and I ran to the house. And then the girl that I've met, then she said, I also go running, and then we could meet each other again. It's a nice thing. It was good.
You see, good TV would then have adapted so that instead of, just filmed exactly what happened. So, okay, the girls started getting on with the production team, so make that into the show instead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's proper reality. Rather than forcing some, abnormal, strange sort of situation, which isn't true.
No, after that, it all was too fake. Actually, they faked everything. And then they said to me, you want to go another 6 weeks? I said, no, it's okay. I like to do something else.
So they persisted with it. They wanted to carry on doing it.
Because of course they have a lot of people who watch the program, but the people who watch it, they don't know it's fake.
Right, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're buying the lie.
Yeah. But I did many programs that I liked. It's too much. It's too much. I like traveling. I've been to Africa. I've been seeing young kids who are 3 months old, and they told you this little kid won't make it at his 4 because he will die in an AIDS. God. Those things. I've seen so many things, done so many things. So
when you see something, I'm a very thin-skinned person, so it's not noble, but I sort of steer myself almost away from the really horrific things in the world. For having been, with those things having been forced upon you at certain times of your life, would you say that overall they make you more appreciative and they make you stronger as a person?
Yeah. Yeah, you became stronger, and of course you would like to save those kids, but there's so much of them.
Yeah.
At that moment, I don't eat anymore. Of course, after we finish this job, then you go back to your 5-star hotel, and then you go back to a nice restaurant, and then these people has nothing. They didn't have not even an euro to live, and then we go out and spend $400-$600 only for the dinner. I sometimes I say to I'm not going. I don't have that to eat.
Yeah.
Because it's still going in my mind, and that's really hard.
Yeah.
That's so changed. Yeah.
But it seems to me it's a bit of a stereotype. But I'm hoping that you're going to tell me that a lot of these kids had real joy in their lives because they were people that were enjoying, appreciating what they did have. And
oh, you got so much joy of these kids. Yeah. When they see a strange guy who wants to talk with them, make pictures with them, and of course when I go to those countries, I always take something for them with me. A pen to write or whatever I give to these kids, and I take also my clothes. When I finished, I give it to
whatever
them.
they.
That makes me so happy.
Yeah.
That say, okay, that's what I'm. Yeah, I think I hope do good in this world for this people, these kids, especially kids. Yeah.
Just today, me and my partner were talking about going to Africa. We've never been. It's a continent which we've never been to. Is there somewhere in particular that you would recommend for us to go?
Yeah, it depends what you want to see, what you want to see.
I suppose, yeah, to have my eyes open to Africa. You know, it all began in Africa.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it seems great, but it's such a huge place.
It's a huge country.
And it does have lots of negative associations. You know, it does seem as if, you know, it's got the image and it's got the reputation of being quite a dangerous continent still.
There is some countries like Nigeria. Don't go. Nigeria don't go.
But Nigeria is not one of the poorest African nations.
It's not one of the poorest, but it's so corrupt. I mean,
Right.
They have so much oil. Of course, the Dutch, they take it. The English, they take it. Shell is the biggest destroyer in this country. I've been there. I did that program, Europe Surprise in Europe, that I told you.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Nigeria, and the people are so poor. They have nothing. And
Massive class divide then.
Yeah.
But a few rich people, many very poor people.
Yeah, and that's really bad. So that country you have to skip. Don't go. Nigeria. Congo also very nice, but don't go. You can go to Rwanda.
There's civil war in Congo, isn't there?
Yeah. You can go to Rwanda, Burundi, Uganda is nice. Of course, Mozambique, Tanzania is okay. Ethiopia, Eritrea, Sudan, don't go. You can go, but if you're daredevil,
Right.
go to Sudan. It's also very nice. South Africa, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also dangerous after 10. Don't go.
Right.
After 10 then. And through the day it's okay, because South Africa is really, really nice.
South Africa is another place which has, for me, negative associations because it seems like it's a sort of symbol of
Yeah.
disharmony between different cultures,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
In many ways, when was the last time you went, and has it changed at all? Are people living together more in harmony?
No, it's more divine than
More divided than ever.
there was before, when there was the apartheid. There was more now, because the white people there, they changed. Before they were the black, and now are the white.
Right.
And that's the biggest change what you see when you go there, because also the black people have more money now. They became rich. They have companies, and the work is only for the black guys, and the white guys they became poor. And you have some areas there. We haven't been to one of this area in Johannesburg. It's really sad to see the white guy live like the black guy when there was apartheid.
It's just crazy that, you know, you speak to so many sort of, you know, people in the street, people like you and I, normal people who are horrified by this wealth divide in the world, in this amazing world with such incredible technology and so many amazing things going on, that there's still and so many people with much more than they need, billionaires.
Oh, yes.
But there's still so many people that haven't got enough food to eat, just basic food to eat in the world. I mean, talk about turning a blind eye to you know, bad things that are going on. I just don't think I could. I mean, I've got more than I need, of course I have, but I just, you know, it seems crazy. And I wonder whether we need, you know, rich people need other people to be poor in order for them to be rich. Is that?
You need it. Yeah.
Is that the case? Do you think that we need, you know?
Yeah, that's what how world actually lives on. They have to put some poor guys to be better. That's how the whole world actually works.
It's absolutely.
That's all the third world countries, they work like that. The high class, they keep the poor class not educated and stuff like that to be better. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, you hope that we're moving towards, you know, a more civilized world, but then, as I said, we talked earlier about America, and they just it seems to be going backwards in terms of its politics, in terms of, I can't see, if Donald Trump, God forbid, gets into power, you just can't see the world progressing anywhere, can you? You could see more hatred, more problems with other countries, more barriers instead of less barriers. But you know, my hope is that ultimately we will have a world without barriers, and everybody can just move freely, and we're all just citizens of the world, rather.
That's what we want. I mean, that's what I want.
That's what we want.
That's what we want. That's what I
not what Donald
like
Trump
to
wants.
do. But it's not what. No, I mean, if somebody tell me, "Where you're from?" I'm from Africa. Yeah, but where from Africa? I'm an African. The whole country is Africa. But I'm from Morocco. But I tell them I'm African. I'm, you know, and then still they want to know, but which country? I mean, whole Africa is the country.
Yeah.
And it for me is a beautiful thing to travel all around the world without all those boundaries, you know, the borders. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. And now they started in Europe and they close it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
The same what they do in Mexico, of course. And
Do you think we'll get there in the end? Do you think we'll get towards that, or do you think it will just
Yeah.
end up bombing each other and blowing each other up?
no,
and-
now we're gonna have some more big problems because water is shorting. Wars will be fight again for water
in
And
future,
in the future, and
around the whole world.
the whole world, and it's already started. You know, the Nile, for example, the Euphrates.
What's going on there?
Well, countries they're building dams.
In order to limit the flow to certain places.
Yeah. So if you're, for example, Sudan and Egypt, and you have the white and the black Nile, and there's two Niles.
Okay.
We always think it was one big
Yeah.
Nile through 9 countries.
Yeah.
So that's not that.
Ah.
So, but if Sudan build a dam, then Egypt can not get water, and then you have problem. I mean, there's 90 million people without water
God.
in Egypt.
Right. And Sudan is trying to limit the flow of.
Yeah, and they're already building.
Are they allowed to do that? I suppose if it's running through their country, they
It
can
is their
argue.
country. They can do what they want, but you cannot just close a river because the river is for everybody.
Yeah, sure. Water's for everybody.
The water is for everybody.
I mean, if you went back 200 years, people would probably laugh in your face if you said that they charge you for water these days. You know, you have to pay for bottled water. People
Yeah.
would probably laugh at you. You know, the whole idea of it. But now it's just.
But now, even now, the water is more expensive than a glass of beer. I mean, if you buy water now, Australia is very expensive for water, and you think it's a huge country, but it has almost no water.
Yeah, really struggling for water.
Yeah, I mean, there I can remember I paid $6 for 2 bottles of water.
It's good.
500, a liter then.
It's such an expensive place.
It's too
anyway,
expensive.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's so anyway expensive, but for water,
Yeah.
I mean, it's have to be free, but it's not. It's gonna be a big problem. It's-
And you know, the population explosion as well doesn't help, does it? We've got more mouths to feed. We've got more people that are going to need water, and possibly
Yeah.
more and more scarce resources.
Yeah, but they will solve those things in.
The English
in
term
coming
is
years.
necessity is the mother of invention.
Yeah.
So when we are forced,
To do.
by running out of fossil fuels, my partner works for Tesla, the electric car manufacturer, and they tried to build an electric car in the 50s and 60s, but the oil companies and the car
They
manufacturers,
stopped them.
they said,
Yeah.
we're happy with the status quo.
Yeah.
We're gonna get rid of this. But now it seems like in 50 years' time there won't be any fossil fuels left, and so there's got to be alternative sustainable fuels.
In Holland, they say in 2019 they will try to get already cars who drive without
Drivers.
drivers, and they won't make it in 3 years, but all electric.
Yeah, completely. And there does seem to be a big take up of Tesla cars.
It's very, very fast now. It's very, very fast. But I think it's gonna change. We won't be here anymore, but I think in 200-300 years.
So you're an optimist then?
Yeah, all these problems will be gone.
Oh, I'd love to think that was the case. I'd
Yeah.
like to think that was the case. But
Because I have met a lot of people. Really, it's their job, to talk about these things. And of course, I'm a listener, and I heard so many things, and I think, it's.
we'll find a way.
Yeah,
We'll find a way.
but not in our lifetime. That's so.
Yeah.
That's sad.
but I mean, we are living in many ways in great times. You know, obviously there's political
That's why we
unrest.
have to be very happy what we have, and people forget that.
Could not agree
People
more.
forget that. I mean, go to Africa, only to Africa. I mean, here in Holland we have poor people. 2 days ago, when we finished the Buddhism thing about Hinduism.
You finished it that recently?
Yeah, the last Sunday was my last shoot. And then I spoke to a woman, came to me and talked to me and said, "Do you know there's so many poor people here? I have 4 women that she knows. They don't have food today. So I get everything a little bit by little and I bring it to them to have food. And they have children and they don't have food. Even here in Holland.
Crazy.
And even where I live, I have my house in the center. And there are 2,000 people who go to the food bank. Food bank to get food.
2,000 every day on a daily basis, or?
No, I think once a week. It's not every day, once a week.
Right.
And it's really sad. It's really sad. Even with my father and mother, if I wasn't with them,
they might struggle.
Yeah, they cannot make it.
Where are all your brothers and sisters now?
They're here around in Amsterdam.
Mainly in Amsterdam.
Yeah. One in Germany that was here. Now she's into Morocco now.
But maybe you're the most dutiful.
Well, I do my best. I do my best.
Fantastic job. I'm going to ask you whether there is a book in particular that inspires you or makes you happy. A book that I can read that I may not already have read. Is there something that that's really affected you in your life?
Yeah, it's the book. I don't know the name of it, but it's about the Rockefellers. The idea of the Rockefellers, what they want to do and change the world.
Ah, the foundation.
Yeah, and
okay.
It's a Rockefellers conference. They have once a year. They met all these rich and wealthy people in the world. Even our queen is also one of them.
Ah.
And so you have all over the world the biggest companies, the richest companies, and they have these ideas to solve these problems what we're talking about. But totally different that we would like. And that is really, really interesting to read the book. I had them. I got them from the writer because this guy was a son of a spy. He was a spy for the Americans. And this kid was always interested in what his father was doing. And he became also a spy. And then he became involved also with the Rockefellers.
Yeah.
To try to get in, because it's not for everybody.
An exclusive club.
It's totally exclusive.
And you need to have a certain amount of money as well.
Money, and you have to know the people, how to get in there. And then he write the book after years, what he have seen and heard, and it's scared when you read the book, what they want, what they really want. And they are busy for more than 100 years.
What do they want?
They want a lot. They want to give. For example, the African people, they're poor. They can tell them, okay, we give you medicine, but they want in the medicine they will put you a chip so they can control you.
Wow.
And
why do they want to do that?
Because they want a control over the world.
Right.
They have already control over the money.
The money, yeah.
But now also the people. They can control you. And the easiest to do was with Africans. Because they're poor, they don't have food, and just give them and.
So has it happened? Have people actually had chips?
No, because you have also other groups who are against it.
Right, of course.
And also they fight against it. Otherwise, if that was existing, they already had.
It's very George Orwell, 1984, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very much that
Yeah.
dystopian vision of the future of everybody being controlled and told what to do. And
yeah. And of course, they want to control also the people because too much people, and they want to get rid of millions of Chinese because there are too many. Of course, there are 2 billion Chinese in the world.
Crazy, yeah.
If you go to Asia, it's only Chinese. I mean, and it's not fiction. It's real.
Amazing. And these are powerful people with huge influence.
Yeah, they are the how you say that they play in
The Puppet Masters.
The Puppet Masters.
Puppet Masters, yeah.
Like Obama and the other
Mm.
ruling the world. They are being ruled by them.
Yeah, of course. It's a bit naive to think that politicians are people with the power in the world, isn't it? When
that's
they're-
not.
Yeah.
That's not. And that book I had, I got it from the writer, and then when I read it, I gave it to another one to read it, and I don't know who was the guy that I gave it to.
But you want it back?
No, it's already for years now because I forgot it already.
Books are for reading and then for giving, aren't they? That's what I always think.
Yeah, of course. I mean, nowadays I have all my books on the iPad, so I cannot give them away. I can't give them a present.
Yeah.
I can send you a message and you have the book.
And it's nice to have something to hold, I think. So, I don't know. I don't think the book will
Yeah.
ever become completely extinct. It's like records, isn't it? I suppose the touch and feel, the aesthetic of it's really, really nice.
Yeah, that's nice. But when I do read only when I'm traveling, not work, but really my own travels.
Mhm.
And then most of the times I took 2 or 3 books, thick ones. Now it's heavy, of course. Then you take an iPad and you have
Yeah.
10,000 of
Yeah,
books.
yeah.
You don't read 1 or 2, but you have them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the easy. But it's nice to feel the book. Yeah.
Definitely, and I will definitely find that book, and I will put that reference into my podcast so that
Yeah.
people know where
The
they
Rockefeller's conferences. That's how it's called. Yeah.
can find. Okay,
Yeah. If you Google Rockefellers.
that's genuinely fascinating, and I will definitely be reading that. Just on talking about travel, what's the best place you've ever been to? Because I know
So
you're obviously a
many.
well-travelled man.
So
But if
many.
there's one place you'd go to now for a week of just heavenly, passing of the time and a beautiful place where people are friendly and harmonious, and
I have
Don't you remember
I have been so many places, but if the last one that I think, wow, I want to go there is go back there, Cambodia, and then the 40,000 islands. That's the place how they call it. It's not 40,000 islands, but
It's the name of the hotel or the
no,
resort.
there's the place.
Okay.
40,000.
Okay.
And it's a place. When I was there, I stayed on that place only 10 days. It was beautiful. I was in a small place where I stayed, a guest house, and from there I got to my place. Nobody around me, just water. Take everything with me, and I stayed there for
Amazing.
a whole day with a book.
So it's not destroyed by commercialism or tourism or anything like that.
There are tourists, of course, but
course.
if I go there, then others also go there.
Of course.
But-
But it's still really, really beautiful.
Yeah,
and-
it's-
I mean, Cambodia is another place with a really, horrible history.
Yeah,
of civil-
and the horrible history of all those, what the Americans again did there. They destroyed the whole country. And when I was there, actually, of course, I know about the war in the Vietnam War, and also Cambodia was also with the Vietnam War, because then the Khmer came,
Right.
the Khmer Rouge,
Yep.
and they destroyed the whole country. And there's nothing lives there actually, because of what the Americans, they put this orange, to destroy the forest, to
Right.
get the people out,
Okay.
and now there's nothing. Of
So
course,
why is it such a great place to go? Has it recovered?
Well, for tourists, but it's still, you cannot go everywhere because it's not allowed to walk off of the path.
Are there still landmines? and
Yeah,
things? Right.
yeah, because if you see the map of Cambodia, Laos, Cambodia, also Vietnam, it's all red dots everywhere.
Right, don't go there.
Don't go there.
And why is it so special? Why is it such a special place to go these
Yeah,
days?
the history. I mean, the history, and still, when you go there and you talk to the people, there is no hate against others.
Right.
No hate.
Despite everything that's happened.
Yeah, it's no hate about what the Americans did. Of course, it was not nice, and they killed their parents or whatever. But it's still, they don't have the hate. And that's what I
amazing.
like about that.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and of course they are beautiful, wonderful people,
Okay.
and beautiful. Some of the what it's left.
I must ask you, moving on from the book thing, the book reference is great. What about films? Because I mean, what a great person to ask. Somebody who's spent their whole life doing TV production, film production, documentaries. Is there a film which really sticks out for you? I know it's such a hard, difficult question to ask. What's your favourite film? But
Yeah.
is there a film which people is essential viewing that people need to watch?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Huh? I should watch so many movies. I like any genre. I like. Yeah, I like science fiction. I like horror. I like everything. But when I became older, and then I like more the art movies.
Okay.
Like one of what is so still standing in my mind after years that I've watched this movie, the Weeping Camel.
Never heard of
The
it.
Weeping Camel.
The Weeping Camel. Never heard of it. And I love watching films, so I will definitely watch that. And what's it about?
It's about the camel, of course.
Is it a documentary or is it a?
It's a shoot like a documentary, but it's a movie, and it's a documentary of a movie about a camel who gave birth to a young camel,
Yeah.
but she don't want that.
Why?
Yeah.
She rejected the baby.
Yeah.
Why? Does that happen regularly with camels?
No, but with that happens, and then this guy who owned the camel, he did everything to get him closer. That she, after many weeks, yeah,
She eventually loved the camel.
the camel. Yeah,
Oh, that sounds like a real tearjerker.
yeah, it is.
Something to make you cry.
It is.
But in a good way.
In a good way, yeah. And that movie is still. I mean, I don't even know how much movies. Of course, with my study, I will have to see so many movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one is. Yeah.
That one really sticks out.
Yeah.
I will definitely be watching it. And what about documentaries? Is there a documentary which you particularly like, which is which just stuck with you?
Yeah, documentaries. Yeah, the one that I made myself. You know, documentaries about in Rio de Janeiro about kids. You know, young kids who've been thrown away. How do you say that?
Orphans?
Orphans, yeah.
That must have been a really difficult one to make
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, and I was also working with that, so well, it was really hard. It's really hard
Yeah.
to see. After that, you met also the woman or the young girl who has get rid of her own child. And then the worst things is they also used by these guys to get them out of there, to use them to
Sex trade or
drugs, and it's terrible.
treated
And
so.
it still happens.
So what reasons would be given by the mothers, for example, for getting rid of their kids?
Poor,
So they'd be paid.
young, you know, and they come in prostitution and then became pregnant, and then they don't want to know, you know, to the parents or whatever, and then they just get rid of it. It's so sad.
So sad.
So sad, yeah.
But the favelas in Rio, I've heard that they've got a bit of. They're quite cool these days. That's what
Yeah.
I was reading or hearing something from somebody recently who moved out there in the 80s or whatever and moved to the favelas basically, and he said there's all sorts of hotels and bars, all sorts of amazing stuff there now.
Now, after the not the Olympics, but the
World Cup.
World Cup. After that, they changed a lot.
Okay.
I was there also when for 10 days we're doing about the Olympics or the World Cup. And we went to the favelas, and after that they changed because the people, they start also to think, okay, the police get killed almost all those drugs, you know, to doing the drugs things. They get rid almost of everything off. So a lot of those favelas are safe now. And the people, they make their own business of it. They opened the bed and breakfast, restaurants, they gave tours. When I was there the first time, I couldn't walk. Even I had my Brazilian friend with me. He was a big guy and I was filming. And still, these other Brazilians want that machine what I was filming with.
So it's really dangerous.
I was there with the carnival. It's beautiful. But for 3 days, you can make it as not Brazilian. Otherwise, only through the day. In the night is dangerous because all these people drunk, drugs, and
Even now?
even that's through the carnival even now. Yeah.
And I'm sure there's lots of corruption there as well.
It's Brazil. It's a lot of corruption. Yeah, with my ex, we were so really far to get the children here, and then moved to Brazil to live there.
Right.
That was one of ours that we want to do.
Right.
But it didn't work out actually. Yeah.
I really want to get a list of all the documentaries that you've made. Is there somewhere I can find that, or can you send me the details? Because I'd love to. I really want to see them. I'm a film fanatic.
Yeah.
So I'd love to get some details of that if you could.
Yeah, I have to think. We made a lot. I mean, let's start it with the Arabic Storm, the Arabic Spring, a surprise in Europe. That's about people who came here, immigrants, and they didn't find their way. They were kept it for 2 or 4 years, no work, no school, no nothing, and then they decide, with a little bit help and school, go back to the country, and they start a new life. Actually, they start a new life in their own country then.
Right.
With a little help.
Okay. But the experience helped them almost.
Yeah, here. And this is called the Bridge to Better.
Ah.
It's a company who helps those kind of people who wants to make a better thing in their life and back to their own country.
Bridge to Better.
Yeah.
And that's the foundation as well.
That's the foundation
as well as
who helps them. They're all over Europe actually.
Okay, Bridge to Better. Another thing that I must have a look at.
Yeah.
Do you have a Twitter? Do you have anything?
I don't do Twitter. I do LinkedIn. So on Facebook.
So that would be Marzouk Magouz.
Marzouk Magouz. Yeah.
Marzouk Magouz. That's M. Can you spell your name?
Marzouk. Marzouk.
Marzouk.
And then my family name is Magouz. Magouk.
And that's how you can be found on LinkedIn.
Yeah, Marzouk Magouz, and then you'll find me on Facebook.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you one final question. It's something which you may not have an answer to. It's a bit of a crazy question, but if you had the world leaders in one room, if you had Vladimir Putin, Barack Obama, and Xi Jinping, the Chinese president, in one room, what would you want to say to them?
That's all of 3 I don't like. Yeah, what should I tell them if they are there, 3 of them? Yeah, what we want is peace in this world, you know. That's and the problems is there. They are the problem actually.
Yeah,
they keep the problems going on.
I mean, surely that would be their job description. Give us a harmonious world. You're the most powerful people in the world. We want harmony. We want peace. I mean, doesn't everybody want that? Yeah. But it seems that maybe they want that. I mean,
no, they don't want that.
They don't seem to want that, do they? They want to be really well. They want their countries to be very, very wealthy.
Wealthy, and that's even the same happened with Syria. I mean, this guy has a lot of money. If he was really clever when it started, just get rid and get out of the country, then you could stay alive. Now he's still alive, but he killed thousands of people for nothing. For nothing. Just give your people the freedom, and then you're happy also, because you're alive and the people are happy with you. But you have to move out the country and you can live. Yeah. But now you don't know what's gonna happen.
Do you think it's because of just greed, just basic greed?
It is greed, because his father left him more than 75 billions and billions in euros. God. And he still doesn't have enough. I mean, oh my God. So
how much do you need?
Yeah.
Not very much is the answer, but it almost seems like an addiction for people having, more and more money and money that you'll never use.
Yeah, never.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's what we want, is peace in this world. No.
Are we going to get it, do you think, in our lifetimes? World peace?
Well, yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Love your optimism.
Yeah. You have to. Yes. Yeah.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you. You're a very humble and very learned and intelligent man, and somebody who's travelled all around the world. And I mean, we could talk for days, and we probably will once we stop recording.
Yeah, thank you very much.
The Natural Heart.